cryptoforgrowmybag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So, it was an interesting day, was it not? We had some ups, we had some downs, we had some ups, we had some downs. We're still red. Some people would say, but we had some of these coins had such a good day. Why are we red? We're red because we're down off our most recent highs, right? So yeah, we're freaking red. Some coins jumped up a lot, and I think there are a lot of people that are trading, right? And they probably switched over to trading because, well, my money's down. I've got to figure out a way to play the ups and downs. And today was a good day to play the ups and downs. Right now, Bitcoin is at 69,000, about 900, give or take. Good day, not a horrible day, not a great day. Good day, because it said that there is life. Feel me? It said that there's life in the market. That's a very big deal. I have a question for you. Do you think this is a dead cat bounce? Yes, no. What is that? Dying to know about that. Dying to know if you think this is a dead cat bounce. Just saying. Just saying. A lot of things happened. A lot of things going on. We had a ton of news come out. Goldman Sachs AI revelation. They chose Anthropic. Spoke about that a little bit this morning. So that's huge for Anthropic. Huge. Huger than huge. Yo, Dark Horse, what's going on? What's good? Thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. So for all of you that might not know, I treat Friday night flips as almost a free-for-all. As long as you're respectful, you keep all the commentary to investing, I'm willing to try to answer any question that comes my way. Honestly. So if you think you have a stupid question, tonight is like the perfect chance to ask that question. We might all get a giggle, but we mean it in fun because I ask a lot of stupid questions in case you haven't noticed. Stainless Stan, what's going on? Thank you for letting us know that you have invested in yourself. Yo, what's up? And you've invested in yourself. Thank you very much, L-A-G. See, I think of LAG as LaGuardia, but it would technically the airport is LGA. But you know, we're difficult. I believe Bitcoin has to get above 72,000. That's not my number. Let me see if I can bring up my, because I knew somebody was going to say something like that. And I had not looked at my chart to see what my nearest line is at. Oof. The more I look at the trend line that I drew, the more disgusted I am. Just, wow. My number is 73,750. 73,750. And that's not an arbitrary number, by the way. That's a number that served as both resistance, right? And then bottom. Yes, it did. So I have that number in there. That's how I keep my lines. That's how I keep all my chart lines in there. Because I've noticed that, yeah, you know what? We play pretty close to what we're saying, right? You heard Rick Ritchie and I speak the other day about hitting, he thought it was going to hit 65. I said my next number down is 63 and change. We hit 63 and change. As a matter of fact, we went after lights went out, we went below that to 60. And I never thought we'd see 50 again. Never. Just saying. So there was a lot. You just say. So a lot happened. Dead cats don't bounce. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm telling you right now, yes, they do. They hit the ground. Doom, doom. Just saying, dead cats bounce. You mean it drops again? Yeah, see, you started thinking about that, right? Yeah. I think it might drop even lower. Yeah, that's highly possible. It already busted through 63,719. My next leg down, and this is going to make a lot of people puke. My next leg down after that is 57,655. I'm telling you, I've got lines that take us all the way back to when it was 15 and change. It was 15,483. You don't believe me? Fine. Here you go. This is at 15,483. This is at 2160. We're going to scoot up a little bit faster. We're up here at 41,416. We're here for a little bit of a minute. We consolidated here between 41,416 and 44,21. And then we came up, we blasted through, and we landed in this space. 49,055, 53,272. We went sideways in here for a little while, and then we blasted up and established this track right here from 57,655 to 63,719. Okay? I'm just saying. This is real. Like, I'm not playing with you. And remember what I just said about this trend line. This is disgusting. I saw it coming. I drew it, and I was like, I feel something. So I drew it, and then look what happened. Basically, right after I finished drawing this, look at the line right here. It was already on a steep decline right there, and then it went even more steep. Like, what the heck? Aloha 8 paws in the his house. Thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. So yeah, when I did that, I was like, damn, this is not pretty. This is not pretty at all. And it looks like we could still go up. It looks like we're bouncing around right here, but we could still go up. We've got some strength and momentum. Is that going to happen? Look how close that 20-day is, and look how close that 200-day is. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, could we be going on and up, and then we take a little bit of a dip because people want to take their money, and then we go up again, like climbing a mountain, Oh, you didn't see me do that. We take a little bit of a dip, and then we go up again. Again, like climbing a mountain. So like I said, Friday Flips is a time where we can ask each other questions. Don't ask silly questions that you should have just Googled. You know what I mean? Show us some kind of effort. But if you're just learning and you have a question about a term, you can Google that. The questions that I want to hear, the kind of questions that I want to hear are like, what do people think about a dead cat bounce theory? Hence, I asked this question. It's not really a poll question. It's just kind of a general, set the topic kind of question. Set the, the mood of the room kind of thing, And then, just let it rip. Let it rip. Friday is a free-flowing day. Just enjoy it. Take it for what it is. You know what I mean? You don't get a lot of those. You do not get a lot of those. But every Friday, I like to stop and pause and just have a general conversation. And the reason why is because, I'll be totally honest with you. At my company, what we do is I have what we call 3-Finger Fridays. I've said this before, but we have this thing called 3-Finger Fridays. And they happen when somebody says, we haven't had a 3-Finger Friday in a long time. Then I go, okay, it's 3-Finger Fridays. You practically get half the day off. You bring in whatever it is you want to drink. And here's the deal, though. You don't have to be here. You could either be here for the 3-Finger Friday or you can bounce. And I do not hold it against you if you go, listen, man, I'm a bounce. I'm cool with that. If too many people bounce, I have another 3-Finger Friday. Why is that? With what we do for a living, consulting all these companies, creating all kinds of different things. Sometimes we just need to take a minute just to kind of level set again. You know what I mean? Let things go a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to keep investing at these lower levels to get my entry prices down. So when they get back to those prices, I can already have made multiples. Here's to you. Diana Mishler in the his house. Thank you for letting us know you invested in yourself. After icicle literally fell on my head. What did you just stand there? You okay? I don't mean to be mean, but did it knock a little bit of sense into you? I'm sorry, because all of my brothers and sisters would have asked me that. All of them. Because we're just stupid that way. So yeah, no. Stainless. I do the whole, whenever I have an opportunity to DCA, maybe put a little bit in because I get a feeling from the market, I'll do it. Do I have a feeling from the market right now? When you think about this, the market was at 60 and then went back up to 70. Feel me? The market was at 60 and then went back up to 70. That was an opportunity to make money, wasn't it? That's why in the mornings I show you the numbers. I show you where things are. Hutanic, thanks for letting us know you invest in yourself, man. Damn near knocked you out. No, seriously, are you okay? Because that's a good way to get concussed. You can get a light concussion from that. And then get up and think that you're fine. You should really go get checked out. That's no joke. Looky here, 8 paws. You've been around here long enough that you know the rules. Eddie doesn't go to the corner. Eddie stands in the middle of the ring. Just saying. Just saying. Besides that, you can't send me to the corner. I'm the only one that sends people to the corner. You can't send me to the corner. What do you think this is? 8 paws? You need like 24 paws at least. Just saying. So yeah, I think when I saw the numbers, when I saw that trend line, I just sat there and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And to know that the bulk of this came as a self-inflicted wound. Markets have bad news all the time, especially around quarterly reporting. Not like this. Not like this. They were exacerbated by macro events. That's what they're exacerbated by. That was the problem. And then things just, I think everything else, so you had the macro events happen, and I think everything else just exacerbated that. If those macro events didn't happen, I think we have a downturn and then we come back to life. Easy peasy, no big deal, whatever. Few days pass, you're in good place. We're not in a good place right now. I'm okay, just broke loose. I'm lucky, seriously. You think? You think? A freaking icicle? They freeze with points, at the bottom. They got points on there. Just saying. It's dangerous. Maybe we need to lock you up or something like that. Keep you indoors until spring when there's no more snow. Apparently, you don't know what to do with yourself when you walk outside. All jokes aside, we had a ton of news happen today. Vanguard's betting on bonds. Housing crisis is not necessarily what you think. Research by Skylar Louis found that rising home prices may stem from income inequality rather than supply shortages. Both can be true at the same time. We do have shortages, and there's absolutely income inequality. Both can be true at the same time. I hate to be, the guy that's saying, well, look at all these things that are wrong. And it's so easy. Look at all these things that are wrong. I find that most people do not take the time to understand the risks that are in front of them or properly weigh those risks. I'm going to say that again. Most people do not take the time to properly weigh the risks that are there, and then out of sight, out of mind, right? And the reason why I say that is because there are certain things that are there, and you know it's there, but you don't realize it's there until somebody reminds you. Case in point, healthcare is a freaking problem, but it's been a problem for so long that you just write it off. Problem. You know that insurance is a problem, but you pay it no mind because it's been a problem for so long that you pay it no mind. See where I'm going? That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. So when you stop and you think about it, you give it some real thought, you start to realize, oh man, that's kind of not what we wanted. That's kind of not what we wanted. That's not what we needed. And then you realize, yeah, we should start thinking about this. We should have our list of risks, our list of opportunities, our risk framework, right? And use them for the tools that they are. Do you have a time frame on the no, I don't. Do I have a time frame on the Clarity Act? Because if not, before the midterm, it might take a year. I have zero time frame on the Clarity Act. Zero. It doesn't have in it everything that it should have in it. Facts. It's overly one-sided, for banks, in favor of banks. Facts. There aren't the right guardrails in place for politicians and the person sitting in the White House. Facts. So no, I don't have any kind of time frame. None whatsoever. This is what I mean by, I don't care what side of the aisle that you're on. You need to stop being you need to make sure, right? You need to make sure that you're not a one issue or single issue voter, because you might be hell bent on making sure that this issue goes the way you want it to go, but you're not thinking about the rest of the issues that will affect you. And then you realize, if we keep allowing people to go to Congress broke and then come out of Congress filthy rich or even wealthy, that causes a disconnect between those politicians and their constituents, no? Yeah, it does. Because now you're not one of us. Now you've become one of them. Access to insider trading, and that's what you do. Your first year, you make $1 million. Next year, you make $3 million. So on and so forth. A lot of politicians went into Washington broke. And then they were taught how to make money, how to schmooze donors. And then you start to realize, holy moly. So we need changes. Nobody wants to not nobody. A lot of people don't want to put those changes in because, man, that'll affect my gravy train. Get out then. Go get a real job. Go make something. Go build something. Have you ever noticed that a lot of the work in Congress happens at night. You ever notice that? You want to know why? Because during the day, they're too busy schmoozing. Oh. Because you don't play golf on a golf course at night. That's why a lot of things happen in the middle of the night. And people are like, why are you talking politics? I'm talking about the economy. I'm talking about the economy. I'm talking about your bags. You have to understand how things work. You cannot be, that person that goes to the polls and votes for this one thing and then wakes up and looks around and goes, oh man, I can't believe this is what's going on. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. Not our fault that you didn't look at everything that was going on. Because maybe you wouldn't have voted that way. Just saying. So that's where a lot of our problems come from, is that, there's a lot of insider trading. If one of my friends, I have a lot of friends in a lot of companies. If one of my friends calls me up and they say, hey, if I were you, I might look at X industry as a buy. Now, they didn't say go buy my company stock. They just said look at X industry as a buy. It's up to me to be able to say, wait a minute, he's in that industry. He works for this company. Oh, he meant for me to go buy that company stock. Insider trading. You can get in trouble for that. Maybe there was an attorney who's at her boyfriend's house, left her laptop unlocked to go use the bathroom. Boyfriend sees some information that's useful to make money. Now, the only thing that the attorney is, in trouble for is not locking their laptop when they walked away, the same way you would do if you were sitting in the office. Boyfriend gets that information. He calls a bunch of homies, like, hey. But in Congress, in DC, in any government, oh, I found out about blah, 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 because they have to report to us. I think I'll go buy that stock. Or I think I'll go sell that stock. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And you sit there and you start to realize, oh man, this is not a good thing. Just looking to see who's in my driveway. Oh, okay. What? Oh, I know it's there are flurries. There are flurries. I've got ice banks around my house that are about foot and a half tall. And that's where they weren't shoveled. We don't need any more snow. Just saying. So let me see. Did I miss anybody? How is it that gold and silver went down, but then Dow hit 50,000? That's the way the markets move. I wasn't even paying attention to that. That's news to me. How is it that gold and silver went down, overbuying, overzealousness, people taking profits, and the Dow hit 50,000? Different timing, different reasons. I'm so confused. Could have been the icicle. Oh my God. You have won yourself a trip to the corner, young lady. Go stand in the corner. I remember this happening earlier in 2025. Enough said. Yep. It's happened throughout U.S. history. Exactly. But yeah, more slow. Yep, dude. And next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, they're saying that there could be another dump of 12 inches. Could be. We'll have to see as we get closer to the weekend. Yay. So much fun. So for all my big baggers, not this Sunday, not Super Bowl Sunday, the Sunday after that, that's going to be Big Bagger Weekend. That's when we have our monthly video conference call. And if you're not a big bagger, guess what? you don't get to participate in that video conference call. And let me tell you something. We get into a lot of different stuff. We have a lot of characters on the call. We bring up a whole bunch of different topics. Sometimes we take a deep dive on different stocks, different options, different strategies, right? It's open. It's wide open. And we talk about everything that comes to mind. Video conference call. Tight-knit group. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's been a lot. What else is going on? What other good news do we have? We already spoke about Stellantis yesterday. Their stock still took a hit. The Fed is still divided. Economic stability or crisis. The Federal Reserve officials presented conflicting assessments of the U.S. economy. This is why I keep telling you guys, listen to Fed speak. Listen to Fed speak. You'll hear who's on this side, who's on that side, and who's walking the fence and hasn't made up their mind yet. And maybe even what they're listening for them to be able to make up their minds. Or even which way they're leaning. So you have a better idea about what's coming. Now, whatever Fed meeting is left, Jay Powell ain't doing jack. He's not raising, he's not dropping. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's not enough data. There really isn't. I mean, you had no October data. You had no November data. You had a delay on jobs data, this month. There's not enough data for him to warrant dropping anything. And then we've lost jobs and then but inflation and there's no reason to drop or raise anything. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. I'm going to renew at my little bagger for a while longer. Money has been very tight. Relax. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I would tell you to go over to Grow My Bag and join up as a bagger because I think it's only $1 a month. Right? We're trying really hard to keep things cheap, like extremely hard to keep things cheap. So yeah, there's that. Plus, when you sign up on YouTube, they get 30%, right? Just saying. Nothing wrong with that. I'm actually not angry about it. Just that we have our own platform with a whole bunch of other services. And that means you sign up over there. And now you can use those services. Because if you sign up at YouTube, you can't use those services. We can't tie the two platforms. That's not how it works. I mean, we tried. And the code just isn't there for us to be able to play around with that. Just making sure that I didn't see anything else. Diana should be in the corner. That's right. She should still be there. What other big news was there that caught my attention? Kraken's 3%. Kraken launched a 3% deposit match promotion for eligible users, valid through March 9th, 2026. So if you want to make a quick 3%, you know what's really funny? Oh, man. Hear me out. If you want to make a quick 3%, isn't that more than most banks? So I could take 10 grand and go get some free money, right? A quick 3%. Boom. Not a problem. That's ridiculous. That you could go get 3% for free. And it'll be more than most banks. Dead serious. I sit there and I just go, you've got to be kidding. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. So there's a lot going on that you could do if that's what you wanted to. I'll do that soon. DeBlue, what I miss? What is the link to join? I invested today. That's what's up. I believe it's Grow My Bag. Just go to Grow My Bag. If you don't have a membership, so you'll see a sign up button. Just click on that. And it'll take you to the exact page and it will walk you through the process. It's really easy. Oh man, what does that mean? Sitting in the corner. Are you serious? 8 pause. I thought you guys were friends. You didn't tell her, right? Oh, okay. So, Hutanic knows. Hutanic was a part. Hutanic, 8 Paws, and a few others were a part of the crew that made me have to create Go Sit in the Corner. So Go Sit in the Corner is usually when somebody makes me laugh on camera or says something that I should have said, like they did, that it didn't dawn on me, right? And they say it, and I just go, ugh, go stand in a corner. That's all it is. It's just a way for us to build relationships. And let me tell you something. Being sent to the corner is actually a big deal because that means I know who you are. That means I know who you are in a good way. And don't think 8 Paws is so freaking perfect. She's been sent to the corner too. She knows what that corner looks like. So one of the guys, Michael McCaskill, used to get sent to the corner all the time. And we'd have, fake beer and pizza in the corner. Yep. It's the party. It's the party corner. It really is. He's been busy. He's trying to get a book published and all that good stuff. So he's been working on that and all that good stuff. So, but he's around. Like if you look at the comments, which will be turned off soon, you could see some of his comments. What else we got going on? I believe in this community, and I know y'all are doing big things. We're trying. Oh boy, wait. So I said to my team, I don't know if you guys recall, but a year, 2 years ago, I used to do this thing called the Crypto Minute. And I would get up in the morning, and this is before I did, 2 live shows. I would do 1 recorded show, and I would do the Crypto Minute. So I told my team, I want to resurrect the Crypto Minute. And they were like, challenge accepted. So we bang out all these articles. As a part of banging out the article, we have article summaries. We have the single bullet point from the article, the 1 point the article is really supposed to make. We have a whole lot of data. So my team went, oh, if he wants to resurrect the Crypto Minute, let's redo it. Let's redo it in style. So they built me a tool that will take the text from the Crypto Minute, the text from the summary, create an audio file, create a properly sized image for wherever we want to post it on the socials, merge the 2 into a video, and post it on the socials. That whole process, because we already create the summary, so that's not something we have to go create. That whole process takes 15 seconds to create the audio file. We already have the image. It takes about 600 or 700 milliseconds to create the video, and another 3 seconds to post it up on the socials. That's what my team built for me. So I'm thinking that over the weekends, I will add some polish to it and that kind of stuff. And we'll see, if I put it in rotation, and that will resurrect the Crypto Minute. Because then what I'll do is I'll take all the articles that I have from the morning, all the articles that I have at night, and I'll take those bullet points and I'll have it read off the bullet points. And there's your Crypto Minute 2 times a day. So, do I have a kick-ass team or what? My team, I would put my team up against anybody. Anybody. I didn't tell them that's what I wanted. I said, I want to resurrect the Crypto Minute. And I left it at that. I want to resurrect the Crypto Minute. I miss the Crypto Minute. Challenge accepted. Love my team. Love my team. So we'll probably be doing that hopefully within the next week or 2. The next one is we're thinking about introducing a mailing list, right? like I said, we publish anywhere between, I want to say the range is probably 25 to, actually, no, you want to know what? It's probably from about 30 articles to 50 articles a day. Imagine 30 to 50 articles a day. Give or take. Sometimes it drops all the way down to 20, or it depends on the news day, on what's there. And then imagine getting what we do is we're thinking about delaying the publishing of those articles so that the people in the mailing list get access to the articles first. And then 20 minutes and a half hour after that mailing is going out, then we publish the articles for everybody else. So we're thinking about doing that. I think Monday I'll have the ability to start inviting people to actually join the site. No, the team doesn't get pizza. The team does not get pizza. We get Steven to cook. Our solutions architect, Steven, is an amazing cook. The skills needed to cook are similar to the skills needed to write just eloquent code. Creativity and concentration, focus. He's got both of those. So we actually wind up having some really good stuff. I gotta trim my beard. This part right here is like hanging out. It's bothering me. No, I'm not vain. It just looks ugly. But a pizza, no, we have Steven cook. His skills in the kitchen are ridiculous. Yeah, if he ever wanted to retire, he'd be a chef. His wife only married him because he knows how to cook. I kid you not. We'll be on a conference call, and his wife will come in. He's got to cook, guys. I don't know what your problem is. He's got to cook. And she'll walk away. And then his daughter will walk in, who I call Bit. She'll walk in, and she'll be like, I'm hungry, and you're going to feed me now. And that's when he goes, okay, guys, got to go. Yep. Bit says jump. He doesn't ask how high. He jumps and prays it's high enough. Good man. And, like I said, I wanted to do something, and they were like, well, he used to get up in the morning, and he would take all the bullets and read the bullets, and he ain't got time for that. He does not have time for that. So they revamped the process, and they played it for me, and I was like, they chose a nice voice and everything, and I was just like, because it sounds like one of the guys, and I was just like, wow. So imagine what we would be able to do. We create so much written content that creating audible content is easy. Creating video content is easy. We get to reuse that same content and keep it moving. Because remember, one of the things about, this show is that everything happens right now. Right? You might go back and look at the videos for like maybe the past week. Other than that, that's it. Then all of the articles become, research materials. I showed you guys the other day. You can go to the site and you can search for name a company. And if that company has been mentioned, there you go. That's pretty dope. So yeah, you become a member of Grow My Bag. Like I said, you have the ability to search all 13,000 plus articles. I told you guys years ago that we're going to step up our game a little bit, and we're just going to keep going just a little bit. And that's what we did. 4 years ago, I just started doing videos. I had a crap microphone, the whole nine. Then I got a decent microphone. Then I got a decent camera. Ask Husanic. My video sucked. It would pause. It would just do a whole bunch of stuff because I was on a computer that wasn't strong enough. And I was just like, I'm not going to invest in this until I see if it's worth it, because I'm just shooting videos for my kids and they're not going to care about any of that stuff. I kept going, and here we are today. Somebody told me that, oh, you need a better set. And I was like, why? Nobody's showing up to see, my set. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about what I'm wearing. Nobody cares that I didn't shave. Nobody cares about any of that. They care about the information that I'm sharing. They care about the community that we are building. So yeah, that's where we are. So, when I tell you guys, smash the likes or come join, there's a $12 option to join the bagger community, to join the GMB community. The big baggers, that's a private investment club. You can't afford $120 a year? I get it. That's a private investment club. Totally get it. There's going to be another one for small to medium-sized businesses. Totally get it. You either want in or you don't. But it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Both GMB membership give you access to the crypto scores. Oh, you mean the things that I show in the morning? That's a separate product. We used to sell it as a spreadsheet, as an Excel workbook. We don't sell that anymore. Now we're only going to sell the online tool, and that online tool is not done yet. Imagine, it's not done yet. We have a couple other features that we want to add to it. Then the crypto tracker will be done. And they're features that we didn't have before that we'll have now. So you have the GMB X factor. You'll have the GMB Y factor. That's going to be interesting. That one is going to be interesting. Big time interesting. Because it's going to help you gauge. It'll help you gauge the rhythm of a coin. Yep. We got a lot going on. A lot. So when I tell you guys, hey, look, listen, for $1 a month, you have access to 13,000 articles plus. It's growing. We still have to put up our knowledge base. We're thinking about, so we have the knowledge base, and it's been so long since we built it that we're thinking about just reshooting all the content. That is about, I want to say 1,100 financial terms with definitions and examples. Yeah. Stainless, will both GMB membership give you access? Yeah, no, everything's separate. That's the only thing we do is a la carte. That's the only thing we do. I've thought about rolling the crypto tracker into big baggers, right? But then one of the guys was like, but that's only one investment group. What happens when somebody else comes along, like my boy Elliot? He's like a brother to me. He's got his own investment group. What happens when Elliot moves over and he's got his investment group? Do they get it for free too? And I was like, oh yeah, that's okay. I started thinking about that. D-Mac has an investment group. I'm trying to get him to come over. So imagine. So we might work out a deal where people can have access to it. I have not made an etched in stone decision on that. But it's a pretty cool tool. And like I said, it's not even done yet. It's not even done yet. So it's either going to be a standalone product rather, and we'll put a decent price on it, or yeah, I don't see how, because it's not a mandatory thing when you join an investment group. Think about how the business model is. The Big Bagger Investment Group is my investment group. Elliot can have his investment group. 8 Paws can have her investment group. See what I mean? So they're saying, oh, I want to have an investment group here, and I'm going to bring X number of people to join the group, What kind of package can we put together for that group? Already you get the private group feed, so they have access to everything like a regular membership. The feed, DMs, all that good stuff. Do we roll in the tool? Is that what you want to do with the group? Because that will affect the price tag that you place on your group. Think Seeking Alpha. When you go over to Seeking Alpha, they have different investment groups, and each investment group costs a different price. So that's what we're talking about. It's maybe that's what I should do. Maybe that's the model. Maybe that is the model. Each investment group has access to certain features, and they can add those features to their investment group or not. And they can say, because it adds value to your investment group, right? They're not just there for the conversation, but they're there for the conversation, the tools. So the other reason is because we have other tools. I have a class coming up. I have to schedule another day for the class because somebody bought the first 10 spots. So we have a class coming up for learning how to buy and sell a business. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that want to sell businesses. There are a lot of people out there that want to buy a business. But most of them don't know what that process is. So when they go talk to a business broker, they're not prepared for that conversation. And they're not prepared for the work and the negotiations and everything else. Our class bridges that gap. And we teach you both sides of the transaction so that you have a better understanding about what your role is, as well as what your counterpart's role is. But that also comes with a tool. That also comes with a tool to help you weigh the business. And you get that tool when you take the class. And when you take the class, so you get the tool, you get the class, and you get a private Investors Club's membership for the SMB club. Excuse me. Perhaps sounds good. Different modules to build their own centralized repository for modules. I kind of understand what you mean. Yeah. We have a real estate tool. We have a real estate tool that will tell you the different ways that you can consider a piece of real estate, right? As a fixer-upper, flip it type deal, as a Section 8 type deal, right? So there are different things. There are different ways that you can weigh that. There's Section 8, and then there's regular. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this property, and I'm going to rent it out as an Airbnb or whatever it is. You have this tool, this real estate tool that will help you run through all of the numbers and help you gauge that particular investment. So that's another tool that we're going to have. So it's sort of like having the crypto tracker, and now you have your real estate investor tool. No to each build their own using them. Huh? That one I don't understand. Custom crafted modules by the expert developers at Big Bagger. Well, it's not Big Bagger of Grow My Bag, yes. That's how we built the tools. You're typing one hand and eating a salad. Got it. Did I miss anything else? Yes, the crypto tracker. Yeah. I was trying to figure out which membership. Yep, got that. Did I miss anybody else? Eight paws did not disappoint. Okay, that's a nice compliment. You can come out of the corner now. You can come out of the corner now. So yeah, I mean, when you look at this platform, people are like, oh, he's just another talking head. He's another one that's going to send me over to this site to join his Discord. And he's going to send me this site to join his whatever. And then we built our own. We built our own. That was the whole idea. Because everybody's out there when they have something, they're shilling something, right? They're shilling, like, I like CNBC, but CNBC has these different clubs, with their experts. That's great, right? So think about it like that. No, but nobody can afford those clubs. Not at my level. I can't afford that club. That's ridiculously expensive. And then what do you get? You just get them. With us, you get this community. You know how many times, I say this a lot. You know how many times I've been in the middle of a show and I have a question and I can't look it up because I'm in the middle of the show, and I will ask the community to go research that, please. Usually it's A-Pause or Rick Ritchie that come back like that. But I ask the community to help me out with a definition or spelling or a fact that I think I'm getting wrong. That's what's up. That's what's up. We have a lot of people here that are just coming here because, they've never invested before. They don't know what it means. I graduated from a really good high school. When I graduated from high school, my high school was in the top 10 high schools in the country, public and private. And we got home economics. We got how to manage, your house budget and all that kind of stuff. But you want to know what we didn't learn? How to invest. Most kids in this country do not get an education on learning how to invest. Now you know why I started these videos for my kids. They didn't learn that in school. That's not a thing. In high school, public school, that's not a thing. Even with all the tools that are out there, nobody's out there teaching them how to do these things. It's not a thing. There are certain schools that do it, sure. Private schools. Just saying. Audio? Audio what? There's no way in the world there's something wrong with my audio. I can see my meter over there. Go Fatima into his house. What you offered, the Buy Biz class, it is sold out. I haven't seen you in a minute, Fatima. It is sold out. I had 10 seats open and somebody came in and said, I want all 10 seats and I want a private class. How do I say no? They were like that. They heard the show. They liked what we were about. And boom, that was it. Got a phone call. That was it. So I've got to set up another day to do the show. I know that you want a show. I know that 8 Paws wants a show. Not a show, but a class. And it's a class. I'm actually going to give the class. I was going to set the class. Well, the class is $395. My big baggers are going to get a discount on the class if they want to take the class. I haven't set that number yet, but it's going to be a pretty decent discount. I can promise you that. So I'm thinking big baggers will probably, if the class is $395, big baggers will probably only pay $200. That's what I'm thinking. That's the number that's in my head. Because you get access to another private space. And I don't know how many people are going to use that private space, but I know I'll be in that space. Questions will be asked, questions will be answered by the community that's there. I will be trying to grow that community the same way that we're trying to grow the big bagger community, right? Because if you think about big baggers, Fatima, the big baggers is a private investment club. So we have a private investment club for the big baggers. We're going to have a private SMB club for. What do you mean no sound? I'm sitting here looking at the sound. I'm looking at my meter right now. What do you mean no sound? Who can hear me right now? Just somebody let me know if you can hear me or not. That would be greatly appreciated because I'm not seeing any problems on my side. Like I see my sound meter, like I have monitors going and I can see my sound meter going. Who can't hear me? I mean, it also probably means it's 8:55, and I probably need to stop running my mouth anyway. But who can't hear me? So okay, so it's not me. Fatima, it's you. Thanks, Lieutenant. Thank you, Diana, and thank you, Stainless. So yeah, that's what we've got coming up. Got a lot of stuff coming on. I wanted to make it so that it was easy for the team to bang out articles and everything else. It's all good, Dark Horse. I would rather you tell me I don't have sound, and then I can look to see if my systems are running properly, than nobody say anything and I just sit here yapping and nobody can hear me. So we've had that happen before. I've had that happen. So Fatima, you might have to rewind a little bit to hear everything I said, but once you hear it, then you'll understand. But yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot now. Like, we're about to launch DMs. Technically, DMs are already on the site. You guys just don't have access to it, but we're about to launch DMs. We're about to launch the ability for you to invite other people. It's an easy, just here's the person's name, here's the person's email address. They get a note that says, hey, you're inviting them to join this group. There's a lot. We're trying to build out more classes for, self-paced classes. I don't think the SMB class is, you could learn a lot from the SMB class, doing it on your own. But I think that having a consultant that does mergers and acquisitions a lot, be in the room actually teaching class, I think that's different. Because I'll be able to answer questions that you might not have thought of. I'll be leading the conversation, because it is a conversation about how, what makes you want to buy this business? Do you have a background in the business, education enough for the business? Do you know how to evaluate the business? Here are the things that you need to evaluate. What other things do you think you should evaluate? All that kind of stuff. And that conversation sticks in your head more so than just reading information, reading and having audio. You know what I mean? Having just one-way audio. That interaction is a big deal. And then, during the class, you're actually going to evaluate a business. Yep. We spend most of the day, most of that 3 hours evaluating a business, right? And understanding the pitfalls that you may or may not see. So there's that. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor. Smash the likes, tell your friends about us, and if you can, go to GrowMyBag.tv, hit the sign up button, and become a bagger. It's inexpensive. It's $12 a year. $12 a year. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good price. It's better than most magazines. And you can see how much information we put out there. But as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I will not be back. You know what? I might just do the Sunday roundup anyway, because it's ahead of time. So I might do the Sunday roundup before the Super Bowl. I might do it a little bit early, so we'll see. I haven't picked the time, but I think I'll come back on Sunday, because I don't like having that much time between a Friday Flips and the next show. So I'll definitely be doing that. And if I have some really cool stuff tomorrow, I will post that as well. All right. Everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Me and my team will fight for that every day. Have a good one, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.